Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. All right, good morning. Welcome to our first true Wildcat ceremony of our school year. My name is Tom Colentis. I am the always proud principal of Libertyville High School, and it's so wonderful to see all of you here in person this year. Last year we did this ceremony online, but we do have a live link that is running right now, and Dan Treptow, our amazing photographer back here, is filming, and this is being broadcast live to the entire world. So if you have family members at home who would like to tune in, they may do so, because we are up and running. This is really such a special day for us at Libertyville High School, and I always want you to understand just how important this day is. A lot of schools will celebrate students for getting great grades, and many of the students in this room have outstanding grades, but that is not what this ceremony is about. And a lot of schools celebrate kids for being great athletes or being really involved in activities or clubs. And many of our students in this room are great athletes or involved in many clubs, but that's not what this ceremony is about. At Libertyville High School, we want to celebrate students for just being great all-around human beings, being great all-around people. And the way that we look for that is through our daring mission. And our daring mission is what we're working to help students become when they graduate. We want them to be dreamers and doers, dream big dreams about the future, and to actually be able to go and make that happen. We want them to be aware of themselves, who they are, what they stand for, but also aware of other people and how there are other people in our environment who are different. All right, here comes Maura. Awesome. We want them to be resilient and healthy and to live the life of a wildcat. We want them to be inquisitive about the world, thinking about how the world works and thinking about their subjects that they're studying. We want them to be nimble in that they can adapt to changing circumstances. As we've all had to do these last 2 years with COVID, we know how being adaptable and nimble is such an important life skill. And we want our students to be global and to recognize the value of diversity in our world and to be able to celebrate that and to understand and learn from that. So that's what it means to be daring. And what's really cool is that your student did not apply for this award. They didn't fill out an application. They didn't raise their hand and tell the teacher, please pick me. The way this works is that our teachers and our staff members who are here, they don't have to pick a student for this award. If they don't feel that they have a student who is representing our daring mission or who has earned this honor, they don't submit a name. So only the students who are being recognized today have been seen by the staff members, and the staff members have really recognized, wow, this student is doing an amazing and incredible job. I'm very proud of them, and they are representing our daring mission. And so the staff members took the time to make sure that your student was honored here today. So what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to bring each student up one at a time, and the staff member who nominated them is also going to come up, and they're going to talk about why they nominated your student, and we're going to share that with the whole world. So students, you get to stand here and kind of just get to be celebrated in front of everybody. It's a little awkward, but you'll make it through. You'll get through. Okay, and when you're done, you and your staff member will go over here by this backdrop where the daring mission is, and we'll take your photo. And when we take your photo there, it's okay if you're comfortable. You can take your mask off just real quick for the photo, and then you'll put it back on after. Okay, and then students, you'll get a backpack, and there's a certificate in there, and maybe another goodie or two that Miss Ulix put together for you. Okay, but before we do that, before we start, I'm going to put the parents and the family members and the friends on the spot for a second. At your table is a staff member or a friend, or if there isn't a staff member there, there will be in 1 second because Miss Ulix or I will jump over to your table. And what we want to do, we want to hear from the parents or the loved ones, friends, or family. If you could just tell your student and our staff members why you are proud of this student, okay? If you could tell us, you're going to hear from us why we're proud of them, but we want to hear from you why you are proud of your student. So, student, this is another moment of awkwardness for you, but that's what today is all about, all right? So we're going to start that right now. All right. We're going to wrap this part up. And I know right now the students are like, Dr. K, sit down, let my parents keep going, let them keep talking here. But plenty of time, hopefully, for more of that in a bit. What we're going to do right now is we're going to start to bring up our staff members and our students so we can learn about why we as a school are so proud of these amazing kids. And to start us off, we have an outstanding teacher, Mr. Farrell, who is going to come up and talk about Josh Holtz.
Well, I just learned actually that this is not new for Josh. When I got the message that I was supposed to select somebody for this award, it took me literally like negative 30 seconds. I knew it was him, like right off the bat. And I learned from his parents, actually, this is the third time Josh has received an award similar to this at a school. So that's obvious that, that's obvious that other people are consistently seeing the things that I see. And it's the third time mom works at Lakes High School that she's missed school for something like this. So what a great reason to celebrate your son. And for me, this was really easy. It's obvious. I've been coaching Been doing this a long time, coaching football for 30 years, and had the opportunity to meet Josh this summer. He walked into football a little bit late, and the first day I saw him, I'm like, whoa, that's a big kid. And obviously he's a big kid as a freshman. And as I got to see him, at practice, a lot of times we just let them do their thing at the beginning of practice. They throw the ball, and he is such a gifted athlete. He's got great hands for his size, movement. He can throw a football like 50 yards. But that's not what makes Josh great, okay, what's on the outside. And I think, and it's ironic, we're doing a new program here in PE where we're working with young men and really talking about what it means to be a man. And I think there's a misnomer in our society a lot of times that being a man is based on your athletics, how great you are athletically, okay? And athletics have been an important part of my life. But that has nothing to do, honestly, with being a man. That all ends at some point, and being a man is not who you are on the outside, but it's who you are on the inside. And he has that. He's bigger on the inside than he is on the outside. The athletics, all those things, those are going to end someday. But it's about who you are as a son, a friend, a father, a husband, all those the roles that you're going to have in your life. And it so happens that Josh ended up on my roster in PE. And that's where I even got to know him even more, and how big he is on the inside. Sometimes kids, and I know that when you're gifted athletically, sometimes the most gifted kids are sometimes the worst examples. They're the laziest because things come easy to them. And sometimes they're not good to other kids. That's the total antithesis of what Josh is. If you could see him in my PE class, he's my go-to guy. And all the adjectives I could use to describe him, he's kind, okay? He lifts other people up. When we play a game, he could certainly dominate, but he's always looking to get other kids involved. There was a day, and he probably doesn't even remember this, that really struck me. We were playing a game outside on the field, and I had multiple soccer balls to bring out, and I had jerseys for kids. And I mentioned that I needed some help. I went in the office just to grab something quick, and when I came out, the bags were gone. And he took them. And I know it was him, okay? Josh, I've been around a lot of kids. You're going to have a lot of success here at Libertyville High School, and Dr. K talked about this is not a celebration. We have great things going on athletically and arts and all those things. You're going to do a lot of great things as a three-sport athlete, which I know you are. But the greatest things you're going to do are often things that people aren't going to see when you're kind to a kid in PE class, when you're lifting other people up. And I think the message I want to say is you're a big guy on the outside, but you got a bigger heart right here on the inside. You're a phenomenal kid. I love being around you. We have really big PE classes, 40 plus kids, and I know I can always count on him to help out. And I'm really proud of you, not as the athlete, but I'm proud of you, who you are as a young man, and you're going to continue to do that as you go on the next 4 years, and then when you graduate here from Libertyville. So awesome job, buddy.
All right. I love that because what we know about character and courage and doing the right thing by people has nothing to do with physical size, but the size of your heart and the size of your spirit. So thank you for doing that and for being such a great role model for us, Josh. Next, we are going to bring up the incredible Mr. Reichert, who is going to talk about Jack Neville.
Good morning, everybody. So when we had the chance to pick somebody, our department soup said, does anyone have a freshman? And my hand shot right up. I was just waiting for the opportunity to do this. I've been here 27 years, and when you tell most people that you meet you're a high school teacher, you get the sympathy, like, oh, working with high school kids, I can barely stand my own kids, right? And, but you get summers off, right? And I always say, you don't understand where I work. It's not like that there. Libertyville High School is an amazing place, and it's not the building. It's what goes on within that building. Well, as everybody knows, not to beat a dead horse, but the last 2 years were kind of rough and kind of different. And when we all came back, things seemed a little different. And I noticed that one of the best parts about Libertyville High School that I love is the community and the culture, and the fact that these traditions get passed on year after year, and we had a gap. And then you don't know how you're going to recover from that transition. Things might not be the same. And I was wearing my old shirts, and kids didn't understand them. Like, what's the jungle? So this sets me into an alarm. You don't know what the jungle is. We can't lose these things. And when I look around, and I'm like, here's our freshman class. It's on you guys. You got to take this ball and move it forward. Our sophomores haven't been here for a year. Our juniors really weren't here for most of a year. And you have to carry this forward. And that's what I see in this guy. Jack is just doing such a great job as a transition into a Wildcat. He participates in all the spirit days with not just a little extra. He's involved in clubs and activities, including our Cat TV. He's working at the football games on weekends, televising things. He is a great steward to our school, and he cares what goes on here, and he cares about this place. I see it all the time, just this morning. He ate a donut, he made a mess. Guess what? He cleaned up everything after himself. And that's just indicative of how he takes care of his entire experience here. So I just wanted to thank him for that and recognize him for that. And that doesn't even go on to say that he's an amazing student in my class, super engaged, super participative, always friendly and outgoing and asking great questions and doing extra. But what I really love is I see that our school culture is in good hands, because we've got these little seeds we're planting that are just going to make this place grow right back to what it was, and then something extra beyond that. So that's why I made you our true Wildcat.
Yeah, I love that, Jack, because we've challenged our seniors to help us restore our traditions, and it's super awesome that you as a freshman are taking that responsibility seriously and making that happen for us as well. So thank you. Good stuff. We're going to keep it rolling here, and now we are going to bring up the wonderful Miss Falkstrom, who is going to talk about Maura Nakanani.
Good morning, everybody. This is Maura. Maura is a freshman this year, and she's in my Algebra 1 class. From the very first day that she came into my classroom, I knew that this was a very special young lady. Obviously, as you can see, Maura has quite a few challenges in her life, but I have never once have seen that she's let that slow her down one little bit. Maura is the most positive student that I think I have this year. She comes into the room every day with a smile on her face. She says hello. She starts conversations with the people that she sits with that she just met the very first day of school. Whenever I ask for a volunteer, her hand shoots up right away. She is the first person when I say, okay, work together with the people at your table. She is the organizer. She starts the conversation. She gets all the people involved. She's passing papers around. She's asking questions. So for all of those reasons and more, it was very, very easy for me to choose Maura as my nominee this year. I think she is just a wonderful, kind, compassionate young lady who brings out the best in everybody that she is around and is a great role model for all of the other students in my class. So Maura, thank you for being you.
We hear that theme, Maura, and you're keeping it going, this idea of helping make everybody better and helping to create a positive environment. So thank you so much for doing that. All right. We are going to bring up next Increíble Señora Colombo, who is going to talk about Leilani Vasser.
Good morning, everyone. So, of course, I do just want to talk about grades real quick, but that's not because why I nominated Leilani, but Leilani is in my 8th hour class. It's a very fun class, great energy, atmosphere, and I think Leilani brings that. But I've seen tremendous work come from her so far. Really solid quality. You're thoughtful. You want to ask questions that show that you are actually digging into the material. You want to get deeper into it. And the quality and level of work I've seen out of you is phenomenal. But besides that, I want to go back to the positive classroom attitude that you demonstrate every day. 28 kids is a really big class. We are a full house. And 8th hour just has such a positive energy, and I think a large part of that is due to you. You are cheerful, you are joyous, your delight in... I love that music, too. Your delight in your interactions with your classmates and with me is very, very obvious. Your joy is infectious. We have like pockets of giggles that erupt on occasion in class, and I actually, it feels fun. It feels so good after this last year and a half to hear my students laughing, and I love that you are enjoying class in all aspects as far as the content and your interactions with your classmates. So you have been an absolute delight. I'm really proud of you. I'm excited to continue the school year with you and see what else we're going to do together.
What I love about that is that you bring joy to the classroom, joy and giggles. I think every school should be filled with both, so thank you, Leilani. All right, next we are going to jump to an outstanding teacher who's going to do double duty today because you're going to talk about 2 students. So we're going to bring up Dr. Brown, and first you're going to talk about Wren Fry.
Good morning, everybody. This is Wren. Wren is in my freshman choir class, and I nominated her for a lot of reasons, some of those same reasons that have already been mentioned by my colleagues that are here today. It's a big decision 8 months ago to say in 8th grade, you know, I really want to take a class where I get to go sing every single day. And 23 freshmen made that decision. It's not always a large group of young people. Wren is one of those students. And one of the reasons I nominated her is because from day one, you never quite know who's going to be shy, who's going to stand up and say, I am ready to sing. Because it's kind of scary when you walk into a class of strangers and then the teacher says, all right, everybody stand up, please, and let's now engage in this personal thing with this, where your instrument is part of who you are, and you're scared of what's everyone going to think of my voice, and are they going to think it's good? Are they going to tell me I stink? You know, there's a lot of fear, and I've never once felt that Wren has ever been afraid ever to stand up and sing, and that is something that really stood out to me when you started singing in choir earlier. On top of that, I wrote in my little bio that she also has already gotten involved in our theater program, and I've gotten to work with her in our fall musical. We, you know, when we do auditions for the musical, you know, we have to make a lot of decisions, and to be honest, it's very rare that a freshman girl gets cast in the musical. It's just not that common because we have seniors, we have juniors, a lot of kids that are working up toward it, and Wren just came and blew everybody away. She got cast in the musical as a freshman girl, and she's not only is she standing up and being a leader in rehearsals and singing, she's just a wonderful dancer. I had no idea, but congratulations on that. And so Wren has just shown us so much in the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks. How many weeks of school has it been? 7 weeks. Already that she's not afraid. She's positive. She brings energy to the class. It's a lively class. Don't you think? Oh yeah, we got some jokers in there. But she's ready to get started and ready to work at all times. And it's very helpful to me when you don't have to break down that barrier of fear of, oh no, someone's going to think that I'm not good. I don't think that Wren ever even considers that. It's like, this is what I do. It's time to sing. Oh yeah, that's my thing. I'm going to stand up and do it. Like football guy, where you at? Yeah, same thing for Wren. In the choir room, it's the same thing. And we are really proud to have you here. I'm excited that you are a part of our program and that you're going to hopefully, we'll continue in our program throughout high school. We are very lucky to have you and thankful and happy to nominate you for this award.
How about we'll have this runway over here, and you
I'm
can
going
talk
to do the other one?
talk about Michael, and then we'll.
Oh, sure. Where's the young man that I don't know? There he comes.
Michael was nominated by another teacher, Miss Owens, but unfortunately Miss Owens could not be here today, so Dr. Brown is going to talk about Michael for Miss Owens.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Mrs. Owens is a good friend of mine, and when she was not able to be here, she asked me if I would speak on Michael's behalf. I'm happy to do that. I want to read what she wrote, and then I'm also, I'm going to get my phone. She said something else to me that I want to share that I don't want to forget, because it's nice.
Cool.
It's nice, yeah. Mrs. Owens says, I'm proud to nominate Michael, who is a student in my biology class, for this True Wildcat Award. Michael has a great attitude. He's positive. He works well with his lab partners and peers and is on top of his work. Michael missed a few scatter days of school at the beginning of the school year and took the initiative to reach out to me well before his absences so he could stay on top of everything. He has completed everything in a timely manner before the actual due dates, in fact. He asks excellent questions in class. His work is always top-notch. The students recently researched and presented a modern-day scientist, and their research presented about a modern-day scientist. Michael's presentation was one of the first in the class. It was thoughtful, it was detailed and relevant. His confident delivery led the way for better presentations from his peers. Mrs. Owens appreciates your efforts, Michael, and she hopes that you'll keep up the good work the rest of the semester. She also shared with me, and she typed, I'm so glad you're going to speak about Michael. He is an awesome, in all caps, student. Actually, today, this was last week, he stayed after class to clean up after his other lab groups. They just took off early and didn't clean up after themselves. And Michael stayed and just cleaned up everybody's stuff after they left. Did you do that? Yeah, good job. That's nice. It's these kind of kids that make, what Mr. Reichert said. We don't work in the normal high school because I get the same thing. Oh my God, you got to go spend the day with teenagers? That sounds terrible. It's not terrible, parents. It's a joy and it's our gift to get to be here and see them shine and get to help mentor them through this time. High school's hard, and so we feel fortunate that we get to be here and help and to see wonderful kids like Michael and all the rest of you get to do your thing. So congratulations.
All right, we are going to bring up the marvelous Mr. Magnuson to talk about Rosemary Inga. Come on down.
Good morning. There's a few reasons I nominated Rosemary for this award, but just kind of going back to the very beginning of today, I thought it was a cool thing that we did. We kind of got to talk with the parents and understand why they appreciated their student. A lot of the things that Rosemary's mother was saying about her were some of the same reasons that I picked her and nominated her for this award. She is a super driven student, always comes with tons of energy and is super enthusiastic. And I also thought that was cool because you learn something new about these students that you might not otherwise have learned when you're talking with their parents, things that they might not have told you. Like, I didn't know Rosemary wanted to go into fashion design, and this is why I say she's so driven. She said, not only do I want to do that, I want to do, and she gave a super specific category of that, and I said, well, maybe, you could do something like that here, and it turns out she already is, and then she wants to get more involved. So I feel like Rosemary, over the first 2 months of school, is whatever she's doing, she's all in. Like, she's in cross country right now, and I ask her one question about cross country, and she gives me how many miles she ran yesterday, this happened, and she's very, very into whatever she's doing. And that's sort of why I picked her for this award, because I have her in my first period health class, and first period health class, coming into first period health class, some students are still half asleep. And Rosemary really brings the enthusiasm and the energy, and I feel like that rubs off on every student around her. So, talking with her mom this morning and just kind of reiterating some of the reasons that I chose her, really shows why she's a true Wildcat, and I nominated her for this award. So keep up the great work and keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Rosemary, I may need you to come to some of my first period meetings because staff is kind of still asleep too. So it's a good skill. Wake people up. All right, keeping it rolling. Let's bring up the awesome Mr. Hieronymus to talk about Sophia Perkins.
I feel like I'll be too loud. We do have people at home. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll try to tone it down a little bit. It's amazing listening to every other teacher talk about our students in terms of just how consistently excellent how consistently fortunate we are with our students. And but just to be honest, my wife once told me, it's an interesting feature of your job is that you always, to do it right, have to be on, have energy. Whereas, she's an accountant. No offense to any accountants out there, but if she doesn't have energy one day, she just kind of plows through her day. And if for us to do our job right, we can't do that. And I'm just going to be honest, going into this year, the first day or two, wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do that. The last year and a half has been rough for all of us, as someone said earlier. And I'm just like, all right, well, that was literally a short summer, but it felt like a short summer. So, but once the students were in the room, it was nice. It was so different. And just 2 weeks in, my voice is cracking, and like literally, it's I'm emotional about this because 2 weeks in, my 5th hour class in particular. Sorry, another student in here too, had extra energy. They just, every day, Mr. H, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. And it was just so nice. And all my classes are great, don't get me wrong. But that class in particular, and literally 2.5 weeks in, Sophia comes up to ask me a question before class, and I just looked at her, I said, man, I just love your energy. She goes, you do? Remember this? Yeah. I said, yes, it just makes me feel so good, and it allows us, and by the way, as teachers, wearing the mask, you have to have the energy. It has to be louder, And I said, I do. And she was always energetic. First 2 weeks, sensed it right away. But man, she took it up another notch because she was aware that that's what I wanted and maybe what I needed every day. And it's easy now. It is, I have such a better mindset today than I was 6-7 weeks ago. And in terms of, and it's because of students like Sophia, who really make this job a pleasure. That, so many of our students show great energy, are great kids in so many ways, but she heard that that's something that a teacher, that an adult appreciated in her, and she just took it up another notch. And for that, I'm really appreciative of you, Sophia.
All right. I believe Alexis is here, correct? All right, fantastic. So is, Lena, are you going to come up and speak, or do we have a team speaking on behalf of Alexis? I can speak. All right. Well, let's bring up the super amazing Miss Squalacci to talk about Alexis Gallegos.
So when we received the email to nominate a freshman for this award, I didn't have a doubt to nominate Alexis. She was the first person that came to mind when picking a freshman. Alexis had a difficult, it's a scary coming to high school as a freshman, and you're in a new building with a whole bunch of new teachers and people, and she has always risen to the occasion. She's super kind. She's positive. She has just a great energy in class. She always works hard. Alexis is also a really talented drawer as well. She's very artistic, very creative. I spend 2 periods of my day with her in ELA and then also in math, and both classes are very different, but she's also always so hardworking. She's super helpful to her classmates, to the teachers. I specifically remember that at the beginning of the year, we were moving desks around in class, and we have like long tables and then also desks, and we were trying to rearrange the room so that everyone was like closer and it felt more warm. And we were moving a table at the beginning of class, and Alexis jumped right in and helped us move the table and rearrange the room to get it to like have a certain climate. And she's just always, as soon as you need help with something, she's willing to help. She's so kind and so hardworking, and we're just all blessed to have to work with her. So, yeah.
One of the on our daring mission, we have a quote from Maya Angelou about success is loving life and daring to live it. But this ceremony, we also like to end with another quote from the incredible Miss Angelou. She talks about, in the years in the future, people will seldom remember what you said, and they'll seldom remember what you did. But people will never, ever forget how you made them feel. And these students exemplify that and embody that. And as freshmen here, we see that our future is very bright at Libertyville High School. So thank you so much, students, for all you do to make this an incredible place. Thank you, teachers and staff, for recognizing the talents and gifts that these young people bring us. And thank you, parents and family members, for all the support and love that you give these incredible young people. It is always great to be a Wildcat. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, wait, we have late breaking news. That's right. And plenty of food still left. Please eat and enjoy.